have lots of people messaging, and so people are seeing it, they're hearing it, you know, and so if they're, again, share it, guys, however you do that. And, you know, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person. And you want them to know that you have it. And even if they're not ready right now, when they think about it later on, they're going to think about you. And then the other thing I want you to remember is that no matter what, if they decide to start, if you decide to start, there are products that you are going to need to have. And anybody that's been using peptides will share this with you, but we know that it's protein. We know that it's spring. We know that you want your gut collective products for sure, but the protein and the spring are going to be so important. You know, you're going to be thirsty when you're using them. So spring is going to help you with your absorption. The protein, of course, is going to help you get your protein intake in. But guys, also, you know, with nutrition, you're going to want action probably because you want a good nutrient so you get all those nutrients into your body. And so be thinking about that too when you're talking to your customers, that you're thinking about that. And I'm going to just address one thing because I had a lot of people ask about the $1 buy-in. And so if that's confusing, I'll explain it first, and then I want to say, if it's confusing you, just jump over and get them signed up for peptides, if that's what they're wanting to do, and then go back and get them their link, their Singular link, right? But just get them in and get them on their peptides. But the thing with a dollar sign up, if they do the dollar sign up, and then they go register and they click all those little buttons. If you watched Russ, he talked about clicking all the little buttons so that you're ready and you can do your sign up and your 120 can come out of your peptide order. If you say no on the HIPAA, then your 120 doesn't count there. You have to go order Singular products. But if you click all those little buttons, your 120 counts there. And now you're all set to go. You share your link, people order, and you're good to go. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And if a business owner, someone said to me, what if a business owner wants to, you know, do the dollar thing and get their link, but they don't want to order peptides? That's okay. Guys, they're a business owner. Their mentality is different than a customer. A customer is going to be, oh, I spent $1 to get a business. A business owner is going to be, I spent $1 and now I'm going to go buy some products because I know people are going to need protein. They're going to need spring. They're going to need, you know, you told me they're going to need these things along with their peptides, right? So they're going to make sure they have them so that they try them, or they're going to be like, I'm going to go through the peptide process and see how it is to order my peptides on this site because I'm going to be talking about it and sharing it. That's a business mentality versus a customer mentality. So wanted to say those three things, passing it back to you, Melissa, for questions you have.
I want to piggyback on that for a second too, because one of the things that I need for everybody to really listen really, really closely on, if you sign someone up and they check out and do not check the box where they waive their HIPAA, where we get their contact information, there is no way to go back and change that. So they will never be able to count their XMD volume toward their 120 points. If they decide a week from now to become a brand partner, they have to order Singular products in order to get that 120 if they do not waive that. Right now, there is no way to change it. Once they check out and they do not click that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk everybody through it. I'm going to make sure I strongly suggest and tell them why, because I cannot tell them not to do it. We cannot say, you've got to go check this, but we can tell them why it's important, why they might want to check it. You know what I mean? Because we can't say you've got to waive your HIPAA, you know, you've got to waive your HIPAA confidentiality. It will not give us their medical history. It will not give us their intake form. It will not tell us what they bought. All it will tell us is their name and their contact info. That's all we get when they do that. So if they sign up as a brand partner first, it automatically does it for us. I know. So if I know Jan said to go and
Chandra, yes, they need to click all those little buttons. And if you need to go back and watch Russ's, it's about an 18-minute mark. He talks about that. They need to click all those little buttons. If they click on all those, that will give them all that they need. So, but I think it's about the 18.
If you can get them to go in and do the brand partner thing first, that would be That would be the best.
Yeah, that would be the best thing. But if it's messing you up when you're doing that, just get them, but yeah. And then remember, like when they're signing up for and I know we've talked about this a couple times and you've probably seen it, but they have to drop a product in if they're doing the dollar. They have to drop a product in first. Then they do their sign up for to be a brand partner and use the XMD code. And then before they check out, they delete the product if they don't want to order the product and then check out, and then it only charges them the $1. Okay, but they have to drop a product in for whatever reason, they couldn't get it to set up any other way than that. So, and then remember, this is the only time that your spouse is a customer. Your spouse has to be a customer on the XMD site. They cannot go under your account on right? So they have to have their own special account. So they have to be your customer. Okay. So normally you can't have a spouse as a customer, but in this case, they have to be a customer. So you're going to give them the link. If your spouse is going to sign up, it has to be their account. It has to be a separate email than your Singular account. Does that make sense?
Jan, I've got
Okay.
a question for somebody else. If they sign up, like say my husband signs up and he wants to enroll people too, can he do that?
No.
So that's still going to be the same. So
Yeah.
they have to enroll under her.
Yeah.
Or me, it would be me. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So another thing is you cannot use any discount codes on pharmaceuticals. None. You can't use your Share 10 code. If we ever run a promo like we had that one for October, you can never get the 30% off. There's never going to be a discount on the pharmaceuticals. And someone asked about what the PV is for the peptide, for the microdosing, it is 140. For the semaglutide, it's 180. And for the tirzepatide, it's 235. And they are going to offer name brand. The name brand Ozempic is going to be $1,299 a month, and that is going to be 280 PV. The Zepbound is going to be $1,399 a month, and that is going to be 320 PV. I can't imagine a scenario where someone would want that, but it's going to be available.
Can I ask one more question? You said a minute ago it'd be easier to sign them up as a partner now than the HIPAA form thing. They've still got to check all 3 of those boxes on the HIPAA, don't they?
They would have
Yes.
that to be a brand partner. Yeah.
Yes.
They're going to have to check them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Amy, you said, will the sponsor get credit if they don't, so here's what'll happen. So let's just say that if I don't click the HIPAA thing, right? So my sponsor doesn't see my name. I just become an anonymous sponsor or anonymous customer to my sponsor. My sponsor still gets my PV and my credit. I just am anonymous to her. She doesn't know who it is that signed. But when I click that, she just gets my name and my address. She doesn't know what I ordered, just my name and my contact info.
Yep. All right. Tonight they can use our XMD website for the dollar deal or the XMD websites are not going to be available until tomorrow when it goes live at noon Central Time. And then you'll have a little tab. If you go watch Russ, everybody should have already watched that. I would encourage you to watch the whole thing because it will walk you through, show you the screens, and know exactly what you're looking at. If your customers have questions, then you're going to know the flow. Like what Terry said, you're going to know the flow. You're going to know what it looks like. You're going to know how to answer those questions. But you need to watch that. You need to be informed if you're going to do this. Another thing is, hang on, let me go to my question. Let me go to my questions sheet real quick.
Let me share this about the dollar thing, because this has come up and the question, it's been answered a couple different ways. I will tell you, I got this direct from corporate. How long will the dollar be active, the dollar membership or the dollar fee? And per Jamie, Oliver and Sarah would like it to be active at least until the end of the year. Okay, so we have that long to try and get more people, but just that's their goal. And probably like the 199, they're trying to keep that indefinite. So they're hoping that the dollar will stay active that way too. So
Okay, so your customer is not going to have an XMD link, so to speak. Your customer will not. So when they log into their account, into their regular XPO, there is going to be a tag at the top that will take them to their sponsor's site. They're going to use their email. That's what's going to link it to their old account, and so that you get credit. But again, make sure, because our goal is to have every single person that orders become a partner and share this, right? So again, encourage them, or you can't, I mean, that's just one of the things. You can't tell them what to order. You can't tell them to waive their HIPAA, but tell them the benefits of doing that. And there was another thing. Hang on, let me find this other thing about what I was about to tell you about the HIPAA too. Let me get back into here we go. You cannot recommend how they answer the intake form. You need to educate them about the options, because they're going to have to do the intake form. It will give them suggestions. They're going to have to pay for it before they get a telehealth visit. So educate them about the options. And yeah, we did that one. We did the HIPAA. What happens when they sign it, and what happens when they don't? If they opt in, you will see their name in the back office. If they opt in to share, their will count towards their 120. Hang on. Oh, her.
So
This
while
is
she's looking for
Robin.
that, somebody said they were looking at the micro dosing. And this was a question that came up the other night on the training on Saturday. And it was, okay, so the microdosing, I like what's in the core. And if you listen to Jana, she will talk about the core is similar to what she's been taking through her shot or through her peptides over the last month or whatever she's been on them. And so they said, well, I want those things that are in the core. You can add things to your tirzepatide. So you can ask to have those things added in there. So you want to look at that document and see what are the things that are in there that I can add in then or can ask to have added into there. Right? So kind of look through that and make sure you know what you're going to be asking your telehealth doctor.
If it's only available for an oral option, you cannot have it added. So there's only 4 things that you can have added: the B12, the NAD, the one that starts with an I, one that starts with an M, and
Inositol or whatever.
So, and we were going to tell you guys how to pronounce them tonight, but if we can't say them, then we don't expect you to either. So, did you learn how to say them, Jan?
No.
Okay. So, the L-carnitine you cannot have added, because that's only available in an oral option. So anything that's injectable, though, if you look at the microdosing options, then you can request it. You can ask your telehealth. We can't tell you that you can, but if you talk to your telehealth provider, tell them why, then you can request to have that added in. Let's see. Again,
and guys, we're telling you information that we've heard. It's not in stone. So if we make a suggestion and you get in there and you say, well, Melissa and Jan told us this, we're just giving you suggestions on the information we've been given. And we do know that things are very flexible with what has been going on. And so,
yes.
Yeah. So anyway,
here's a good one. There's no refunds once the peptides have shipped whatsoever. No 45-day money back guarantee on prescriptions. The 45-day return policy is just on the Zingular product side. You do not get a guarantee on the pharmaceutical side once it has shipped. And again, like I said, you will pay for your products before you have your telehealth appointment. If things change once you talk to your telehealth provider, then they will adjust the charges accordingly. And then another question was, where are the labs? They're going to be using LabCorp and Quest, and it's the location closest to you. If it's not in your town, you can drive to one that's closest to you, or you'll have to pay for your own labs if they require them. And again, there's no increase in price as your dose goes up. The microdosing prices are considered up to 2.5. I guess it's milligrams, and full doses start at 2.5 with the exception of, unless you're already on it, then they would start you at whatever dose you're currently taking. And again, both microdosing and full dosing, they have compounding, generic and name brand. And when on your credit card statement, you and your customers will see the company name, which is Open Loop, and the pharmacy names on prescriptions and on the statement from your statement on the credit cards from your credit card company. So the pharmacies, I found this out today, are all going to be local compounding pharmacies that will ship directly to your house. You cannot pick them up. And you probably will not know which pharmacy, but they are going to have local compounding pharmacies fill those prescriptions and deliver them to you. Found that out today. Didn't know that. What other questions are in?
Jody asked, is the NAD different from our NAD? And because it is in a prescription form, it should be more potent, is my best guess on that, because right? Because I know when they do that, a lot of times they have to go to a facility to get that.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like the oral versus the injectables. It's like we had a girl the other night explain that, like, when you do an oral dose, it has to go through your esophagus, through your digestive tract, and you don't know at what point the protective coating releases and what point that medication releases. So the injections go straight into your bloodstream, so you know that it is going straight in there. You're getting all of it. Your body is absorbing it all. But the oral ones, you don't know at what point it's going to dissolve, and you don't know if it's already into your into your colon or not. So that was very interesting. An interesting way to take that too. There was something else I was going to say, Jan.
Misty asked a really good question. She said, with the subscriptions, will we be billed every 4 weeks instead of once a month? And I don't know the answer on that. I just assumed it would be similar to what our singular things are, that if it's but I guess we don't have subscriptions from the 26th through the 31st, so I'm not really positive on that. So we'll ask that question and find out.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that either. Bria, if you waive your HIPAA, does your sponsor see? No, we will not see what anyone orders. We will just have their contact information if they waive their HIPAA. But we will know their PV, so you can kind of know what they ordered, but without knowing what they ordered. We will not see their order. What else? Are all of the options for the XMD orders 120 PV or above? Yes. They are, because the microdosing is 140. So yes. Oh, is the 48 week for semaglutide? Do you know what the PV on that is, Jan?
I don't, off the top of my head.
Hang on. Let me see. I think I've got that. Hang on. Let me look, because I didn't think about that, because it's 179, but it's still I'm still sure it's over 120. But let me make sure.
And you guys do know that even if you pay, like if you pay for the longer, like the 48 week, that you aren't getting all the PV and all the commission right up front. It is going to still be spaced out over the 48 weeks. Or so once a month. It's not going to be all up front, even though it's being paid for all up front.
Okay, it is not. The 48 weeks of semaglutide is 103 PV. Everything else is over 120 except for that. Good question. So yeah.
And then Stephanie, are you sure the HIPAA is a waive of their info to all of us? I would think it would just be singular for compensation purposes, but to give us their name and our upline, that is the question I had. I guess I'd need to go back and listen. I thought Russ said in his thing that we would just get their contact information, which would be their name and address. So that's a really good question, and we'll ask that one too, to make sure.
I don't understand what the question is.
That with HIPAA, you can't release names, right? Isn't that what you're saying, Stephanie? Yeah, that you're not supposed to know names of people that are ordering or getting a
We
prescription.
we won't unless they check that box. We won't know. It'll show up as a anonymous customer unless they waive their HIPAA.
Yeah, so if they don't check it, then we won't know anything.
It depends on what it says. Just being in the medical field, like it depends on what that waive says. If it says singular and its partners, then they're waiving it for everyone. If it says just for singular, then that means we still wouldn't have access to their name. Do you know what I mean? So that was my question.
So from what I understand and from what I was told this afternoon or this morning, if they check that box, we will have their contact information. We will not know what they ordered, but we will have contact information, name, phone number, address, the things that are on a way for us to contact them, just like we would normally have. Because
They,
go ahead.
they should be able to click that and read it. So if they're concerned about that, they can click it and read the information. The drop down will give them, they can read what the waiver gives them.
Melissa? He also said, can you hear me?
Hmm?
He also said that you needed to use the same email, like a brand partner needs to use their brand partner email so that they get their points too. It needs to all be
Correct.
the same connection.
Right. They would order, the brand partner would go into their quick links and order directly from their own site. Yeah.
But when somebody's putting in an email, they need to use the same one that they used as their on their intake form and everything.
Correct. Yes, that's a yes. Always use your singular email when you're doing anything with your intake form or XMD. Yes. Don't use an alternate. You won't get credit. All right. Anything else? Ship to your house or mailbox. What happens if it's really cold? Can the vials sit outside? Oh, that's a good question too. We don't have that problem in Georgia. Yeah, I do know that you do have to refrigerate your peptides too. So make sure that you guys know that. I'm sure they ship stuff all the time. I mean, so I'm sure they would take that into account. But Nancy, I'll find that out. I'm not sure. Yeah,
It's
definitely
very,
don't want it frozen.
it's very well wrapped. Mine came, I mean, it's not this big, what it comes in, but it's in a box that's like a cooler size and got tons of packing around it with the dry ice and everything. So what was she actually asking? How long it could sit out there?
I was just asking that if, let's say they delivered it to your house at 10 in the morning and you work until 5 or 6 o'clock, can it sit out there all day?
Oh no.
Mine never stayed that long, but I would say yes. Where are you, in Florida or somewhere? Or where
Well,
are you?
Nancy's in North Dakota where it's probably going to be like 40 below.
Oh, you
I'm
good.
kidding, but
No.
so probably not, Nancy, but that's a good question. We'll ask that and see if we can get
Thank
the
you.
answer for
Find
you.
out for-
And then Jody says, can they order monthly? Yes, you can order monthly. Yes.
Yep.
Hey,
All right.
Melissa.
Yes.
Hey, this is Jamie. I will jump in here really quick. I don't know about it getting too cold, what would happen, but my doctor did not tell me that it had to be refrigerated when I first started. So for the first 3 months of using it, mine was never even in the refrigerator. It sat on my cabinet and I lost 44 pounds in 4 months. So like, I know like it's very hardy substance in there. And so like, it can go extreme cold, it can go extreme heat, but I don't know how extreme. So just wanted to throw that in there.
That's good information too.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to try to link into this Zoom and while Jan finishes answering questions. So let me see if I can do that.
Are you linking it to us here? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I was going to, I know
Oh.
that I'm going to try.
I didn't know we could do that.
I'm going to try. I don't know that we can. I'm going to see because I know that they said that it was going to fill up. So I want to make sure that we
So clarification, so people on the 48 option pay monthly instead, no, so they pay it all up front, but the commissions and the PV are distributed to the sponsor monthly. So even though they've paid it all up front, you don't get all the commissions and the PV right away. You get it spread out over the whatever program they chose. So if they chose 3 months, it's spread out over 3. If it's 6 months, it's spread out. Does that make sense?
Okay,
Okay.
no, I can't do that. So I'm going to drop the link right here. Because it won't let me open a new Zoom because I'm freaking on a Zoom. I didn't think about that. Did not think about that. So hang on. Let's see. And everybody can, the password is key, Key.
And I'll drop it in
Yeah.
the team chats I have.
Okay. Jamie, can you grab it and for your people?
Yes, let me see if I can.
You got the password is key. All right. Jan, did you drop it in my group too?
Yep, dropping in there right now.
All right. Y'all go get you a spot. And this should answer everything that we didn't. Love you all. Good luck on your launch tomorrow. I hope everybody just blows it up.
Bye, guys.